When I started the Authentic or Charlatan series, my intentions were to help guide people into evaluating gurus on social media. I wanted you to gain an understanding of how to figure out if someone is legit or not. Today's episode is highlighting someone I follow and respect greatly. In the first half, I'll explain who Michael is and how I benefit from his YouTube channel. The really important segment of this video is the second half, where I'll explain the criteria I use to evaluate a social media guru and use Michael as an example as someone who checks all the boxes. I confirmed with him yesterday that he currently has 187 rental units totaling around $16.5 million in his real estate portfolio. He has roughly 50% equity, giving him an equity position of around $8.5 million. In 2018, he completed 21 flips. In 2019, he completed 22 flips. So far in 2020, he has completed 7 flips. To give you some perspective, that's closing nearly 2 flips a month. I forgot to ask him yesterday, unfortunately, but a conservative number of $700 for each of his rental units would mean he's generating roughly $130 a month in rental income. Let's use a conservative number and estimate that he's profiting $20 on each flip. That would put him over and above $150 a month in income just from real estate. Wow. One thing we're all experiencing in this social media age is all of these fake gurus and advertising flashing indicators of wealth, high income claims, and they're saying how easy it is to make money. In order to build a portfolio that will hit $20 million in real estate holdings in a couple years, takes time, talent, and the ability to operate during different economic times. Michael has 7,500 subscribers on his YouTube channel and uses absolutely no flashy methods to get your attention. There's no expensive sports cars, claims of easy wealth, and promises to make you rich tomorrow. He'll actually be the first person to tell you that you generate wealth slowly using calculated and smart investments over time.
The closest thing I can relate to Instagram or instant is get rich quick schemes, right? And as we all know, if we've been around a while and you've read anything on history, get rich schemes don't work. Frankly, the only person that gets rich is the person selling the product or the snake oil or the whatever they're selling.
To most people, his content is probably dull and boring. He has no brand image to uphold, which allows him to explain to you how the world is and not how he wants you to see it. He doesn't need to hype real estate as a get-rich-easy scheme so you will buy his $2,000 course. A few months ago, he started making a daily video series where he discusses the economy, the financial markets, popular news stories surrounding large companies, and how all of this relates to the real estate market. It's a 0 out of 10 in entertainment, but a 10 out of 10 in value. Think about it like this. When in the history of the world have people in any socioeconomic class been able to essentially sit down and listen to someone who is closing in on an 8-figure net worth talk about real estate, business, and the financial markets? And it's every single day.
Our switch to small multifamilies, 5, 7, 10, 13, 18 unit buildings allowed us to take equity from the houses and move it into apartments.
His videos are 10 to 15 minutes long, and he gives his experienced input on the economy and real estate investing. It's basically sitting down for coffee with someone who has nearly 200 units of real estate. There's no flashy editing, there's no hype. It's just simply a dude who has decades of experience sharing his perspective. The unfortunate nature of social media, especially YouTube, is that the environment falls victim to the loudest people getting the most attention, which means that some of the content creators who are absolute frauds have millions of subscribers. Meanwhile, someone like Michael, who runs a legitimate business pulling in over $150 a month, gets 200 views per video. Many comments on my videos in this series highlight a common problem for people spending time on social media. Who should I follow if I want to learn business? Who is real and who is fake? Who can actually provide real business advice? People like Michael are the answer, but the problem is he doesn't have a huge following, so it's very difficult for people to find him. Guys like Michael are busy running real businesses and finding real estate deals, not spending time on thumbnails and SEO for YouTube. Many self-proclaimed social media business gurus are social media personalities, not gurus. They aren't actually running a real business. If you watch Michael for any amount of time, you can see that he runs a large real estate business. Almost 200 units on his own is very challenging and puts him in the top tier of real estate investors on social media.
So you want to be a flipper, huh? So you want to buy rundown properties, you want to fix them up, you know, help the neighborhood out, make them look beautiful. This is one that was all boarded up, and it's not always fun. All right, I got a text from my team this morning that somebody had broken in one of that units we just fixed. So I thought I would show you the life of a landlord who chooses to buy vacant properties.
I have a question for you. If you took away YouTube from Michael, would his real business still operate? Yes, it wouldn't skip a beat. That tells you he's legit. If you took away a lot of these social media gurus' ability to sell a course, would they still be running a business? This question helps you decide if someone is running a real business or if they're just a course seller. Now on to the most important segment of this video. Here are a couple ways to evaluate who to follow. Number one, does the guru run a business outside of social media? The first thing I always look for in a guru is if they're running a business in what they claim to be an expert in. It's pretty telling when fake gurus have no indication of a business other than whatever course they're selling. As detailed already, Michael clearly has a large real estate business that is outside of social media. Two, if the guru sells a course, are they still participating in that business? Before social media, successful experts in any field would take their 20 to 30 years of education, advanced degrees, scientific research, expertise, and experience and put all they know into a book so that you could have access to their knowledge. Written word has passed knowledge from generation to generation for the history of time. Experts would write books and create courses because they didn't have time to meet for lunch or coffee with every new investor. The book or course saved them time. Now, in 2020, fake gurus can create a business around selling courses 3 months after starting in the industry. And coincidentally, they no longer are running a business in the industry that they claim to be an expert in. Michael sells a course and a book. He created these because of how many times he gets asked to coffee or for mentorship. He doesn't have time to help everyone, and so he created a course and a book to save him time. There is a huge difference between being a fake guru course seller and creating a course or writing a book just to help beginners because you don't have enough time to help everyone. Number three, how does the guru advertise and market themselves?
To talk about our book, One Rental at a Time, a little bit more, I really haven't done any marketing of such other than when folks send me selfies with the book, which I greatly appreciate.
Michael promotes his course and book when applicable to the topic on his YouTube video. To date, he's sold nearly 4,000 copies of his book in paperback or Audible format, and I believe he's had nearly 400 people purchase his $200 course. To him, it's side income for his time, but he never uses unethical persuasion to sell you. Because of his real estate portfolio, he doesn't need money from the courses. He never pressures you into buying his course. Most of the unethical selling from fake gurus exists because they need your money. Their business is selling courses, so you not buying the course is a direct hit on their main business income. That's why they pull out unethical methods to sell you at all times. 4, how long has this guru been in business and have they experienced multiple economic cycles? One of the biggest reasons why I follow Michael is because of his experience investing in real estate during multiple economic or business cycles. This is extremely important to understand when evaluating gurus. He has experienced up markets, down markets, volatility, stock market crashes, housing market crashes, everything. When someone has experience in multiple economic cycles, they're going to have a better macro understanding of how the economy operates and what to expect next.
Because I've lived through a changing market before. I've seen the crash, I've seen the stress, I've seen people lose homes.
Michael also changed investing strategies when the market turned. He began by investing in single-family houses, then the market shifted and the more lucrative opportunities existed in multifamily. Now he's back to investing in single-family houses because that's where the opportunities exist in his mind.
I don't think you go from watching a Grant Cardone video and suddenly buy your first apartment building. I don't, it's just frustrating, and I just see a bunch of risk and I see lots of unhappy people, right? When they go after it, they can't get anywhere, they're frustrated and they give up.
During this health event, I found myself listening to Michael every single morning because his experience during volatility helped provide advice on how to best operate through the coming months ahead. Really good, practical, and tangible advice is what you want out of people you follow on social media. Check out Michael's channel, One Rental at a Time, if you're interested. Thank you so much for watching the video.